delivery driver? Would you like to be safer and less stressed while driving and earn more at the same time? The Driver's Utility Helper app allows you to do just that. Create custom filters and its automated system does the work for you, automatically declining unwanted low-paying requests and accepting more profitable requests so you can focus on driving. Visit acceptordecline.com to get started today.
Meet Joe. He is a gig worker trying to make money using his car. He uses multiple gig apps all at the same time to maximize his earnings. But this can be difficult and dangerous while driving. Sometimes the requests come in so fast, Joe can't pick and choose the best trips to take, which can result in lower pay or lower rated disruptive passengers. That was until Joe found Maximo, the automation app that helps gig workers accept and decline trip requests. Maximo will use the filters set by Joe, like time, distance, and rating, to determine which trips are best suited for Joe. When a trip request comes in, Joe doesn't need to worry. Maximo will compare the trip details to Joe's filters and then determine if it should automatically accept the trip, decline the trip, or allow Joe to decide by showing the per mile and per minute rates. When a trip has been accepted, Maximo will turn off the other apps that aren't on a trip. Once Joe finishes a trip, Maximo will turn everything back on. This will allow Joe to reduce his stress and frustration, drive safe, and focus on the important tasks. Check out Maximo at www.maximoapp.com.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to RiDESHARE Rodeo Roundtable Thursdays. And if you haven't yet, can you please hit that like button? Get us in the feed a little. See, everybody on this panel just hit it, by the way. So
These 5 likes by now.
But in summertime, we're Gary Short, but we all, I mean, do I even have to say it? Kim's here. Kim's Side Money Plans. Hannibal is hungry. And we got John Dash Theory.
Dash Theory TV in the house.
Yeah. And you guys, two quick things before we jump in. So I didn't put this up last week and I wanted to, because it's a chart from a lot of the things we were talking about tipping culture and stuff. And it was used from the same, some of the same pieces we were using. So this is a study from 2022. You know, sometimes they're farther back. So it's post-pandemic, but this is the percentage of people who tip. So restaurant servers, 77%. Okay. Hairdressers, barbers, and bartenders, bar staff, all 65%. I think to me, that's weird. I've been bar staff. I feel like that should be higher. Delivery, 61.
I say, who doesn't tip their hairdresser? That's kind of weird.
35% of the people.
1 out of 3 people. 1 out of 3 people does it. So who's this culprit here?
This is from one of the Bloomberg things we used. So, I mean, I don't remember the exact stats, but anyway, as you get to the bottom, this very bottom one is the one that I just wanted to mention real quick. I feel like I'm weird now because I'm going to be honest, guys. I tip everything. I've never tipped my mechanic in my life.
I've never tipped my mechanic.
Mechanics, weirdly. But then again, I've gone to people who have quoted me, backyard mechanics, we'll call it. Where they quote you one price and then you get something.
But is it a tip or are you just kind of giving them an amount of money? Like, here, dude, thanks.
Well, usually they say it was $300. They give
right, and then you're like, dude, it was going to be $7. I'll give them $4.
Top would have cost me $7. They gave me $3. You know.
Usually when I deal with like any kind of tire issue, if I need a tire either patched or replaced, I would tip the person that's doing the work, like the guy that's down there doing this thing. I'll tip him a few bucks. Like mechanics, like in general, no, man, it's expensive.
Not in general.
I know, dude. And I guess like I was thinking like, dude, that's not I guess it's the service industry, but it's not the service industry. I mean, this is You're getting a quote. That's always shocking.
My tip is me coming back and me telling people to go to the shop. Like, I think that's enough. Like, they're not asking out. The mechanics don't look. They want business. As long as you bring some people, that's all they care about.
I know. I guess I was just asking because
I'll put it that way. You're not tipping the shop again.
But
Right.
do you think this, John? Do you think that includes people who are off the grid mechanics?
Oh, that has to. There's no way people are tipping shop again in this economy.
But do you think a Bloomberg study did that? I'll need to find it.
I don't think that the Bloomberg study asked a lot of questions.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So they said, have you ever tipped a mechanic? And they got, okay, yeah. You don't think they did like a follow up going? You mean like a mechanic in a store?
Well, if you do that in the survey, you're going to skew the survey. So you got to. I mean, they'll say you're trying to get the result you want. You can't really do that to make it a good survey.
I guess I was just trying to figure out because look, I'm a good tipper because I've worked in the service industry. So I was trying to figure out because if even 15% of people only tipped waitresses, I'd still be in that 15. So I was like, should I? I mean, am I supposed to be tipping these guys? I would have never thought it. I would have never done it. I don't think I still ever will. I was just trying to get some feedback from you guys. If anybody had ever done it,
was that I think what was the number that the delivery driver was? I thought would be lower, much lower than a restaurant. It was lower, like I thought it would be, but it was less lower than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
So like I think 10 or 15% lower. I thought it'd be like 20 to 25%.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess there's a few. I'm looking here. I guess there's a few. Josh says barber, but I mean, there's a few people saying. Where did I see one? I thought I saw one that said that they tipped him.
I agree with Kim. Your barber or your salons, like you gotta tip them because you're doing great work and you're feeling great. You're looking good. You give them a few extra dollars.
But that looked good because that's just. You guys got to remember, oddly, I mean, we all do, and I would hope everybody in the chat does too, because we're in this industry, but we all tip. But there are, I mean, that it was the same number as a bartender. So I count on getting a tip from everybody. So if it's 65% for a bartender too, most of them are getting tipped.
I actually helped manage a salon once in my career. And it was a very rare occasion. And normally it was because they spent all their money on their services. They forgot about the tip on their credit card. And like there's no more room on their credit card for their tip. That's usually when it actually happened. But you get such personalized service when you get your hair done. Like they talk to you. They become your best friend. Like I just can't imagine not tipping my hairdresser.
Or even for like getting your nails done, right? Like I'm assuming, it'd be nice if Van was here. Like I'm assuming, hopefully that everyone is tipping the fact that they gotta look at your feet and look at your hands for a damn hour. Like hopefully they get some tip.
They don't ask where your hands have been before you brought them.
Right? Oh, I can imagine. But they get paid well, but still, I can't do it.
Let me ask you this. Here's a question. We're talking about the percentage of people that tip on haircut. Do you tip on a bad haircut?
Yeah. I tip on everything.
I was just gonna say it's the same as when we talk about bartending, waiting. Like they're not gonna get me to like really dig in and throw that extra in, but I'm gonna do a minimal. I'm always a minimal 20%. If I go out, it's gonna be 20%. Even if they suck, I'll leave it up to the restaurant to catch them and fire them.
I mean, we can get into a long conversation, so I won't get into it.
But Hannibal, I feel like
rewarding a poor performance doesn't make sense to me. But that's a long conversation.
But there's a difference being face to face and the fact of like, a server maybe has 4 or 5 tables in a section in a good place, and maybe her boyfriend just
unfortunately, life
performance
is performance, and if it doesn't depend on what is going on. Like
you've gone to a restaurant and you've literally looked at them and gone, no, and just paid the bill, no tip, and left.
I mean, I will say, I couldn't even tell you last time that happened though, because usually I will have the meal, and if it's like this is god awful, like TGI Fridays, went once, never went back. I don't remember if I may have still tipped though.
But was it the server or was it the
usually
food?
the server? Yeah.
Because if it's the food, that's
If
not
it's
the
a food, it's
server's
not the
fault.
server's fault.
But it's it's my experience, and I don't like it. So I'm gonna sit there and think about all the different scenarios. Like, when you come into a spot, you get taken care of. If it doesn't, then it doesn't matter. I guess I don't have any empathy. But it's like, I guess you'd be like, well, yeah. I mean, maybe the chef had a bad day. Maybe he woke up late. Yeah, I'll eat this terrible food. Like, unfortunately, I don't think life works that way. But yeah.
I got to tell you, I'm kind of with you. I think and in fact, I think that's 65% for at least for the bartending part. I think 90% of Applebee's people don't get tipped. So I think it's skewed because a good place, almost every order
gets tips.
Yeah,
avoid those.
Here, I'm gonna tell you guys something though. You can get hired at Applebee's if you go to bartending school. First thing we always did, every bar I've ever worked at, if you went to bartending school, we threw your resume away. And I know you're not supposed to do that.
No,
but we did. We did not want somebody that literally was claiming they just went to bartending school, because we all stepped our way up at every place I've ever worked. You just didn't go in and go, oh, I went to. Oh, really? Cool.
That's why nobody called it that.
But okay, so the other thing before we jump in, and this one's just a question. I have the miles wrong only by a few. On the last mile, I said 988. It's 1033 because it was just east of Memphis. So on Saturday morning, I missed a curry. It would have been like the equivalent kind of like the Vegas one I did with a bigger pay, more miles. So I want to know from you guys here, also everybody in the chat, I want to see if you'd have taken this. And now remember this, I want you to remember, this is Saturday morning. I leave it on all the time. I should have heard the alert. I don't know why. Maybe I've just been exhausted lately, whatever it is. For some reason, I missed it. When I picked up the phone, it said 40 minutes ago. I saw the distance. I was like, I want to see this. I hit it. I knew it was probably going to be claimed. It was. But here's the deal. But I also want to know, too, if you did get this, are you able to, if this came through at 6:40 a.m., on a Saturday, are you able to be at the place at 8 a.m. and go do this? So Denver to just east of Memphis. It is, I said it was 988. I had that wrong. So I put it into the exact, or to the area that the drop off was. And it is 1034. So 1034 miles just there, right? So you're going to do 2070 round trip. Okay. Pay $2,750.
And on your SUV?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's going to Disney from my house. I think that is like going to Disney.
You get paid to go to Disney?
No.
It's not like going to Disney then.
I'm saying the miles. The miles are like going to Disney.
I'm just curious because I have things and websites and stuff. Hannibal and I have talked about some on Beyond the Algorithm that I could go to once I get to Nashville, that I could try and also leave curry on, all that kind of stuff. See if I can get a partial coming back. I could try some things, and I've also onboarded other last mile apps. I would not use DoorDash coming back or anything like that, but I'd look for some big deals. Even if they didn't pay that good, I might be that guy grabbing it just because I'm already moving. But even if you didn't and you deadheaded back, would you take this?
I probably would if I figured out the whole me being away from my child for.
Well, that's what I'm saying. 640. This is what I'm trying to prepare people on Curry for, because they've just picked up 2 more national clients. They're onboarding some more people. Things are kind of hopping over there. I've seen tons more orders the past week and a half. I mean, it's just really been blowing up. And so I'm wondering, because if you're on Curry, if you're about to be, I know that a handful of people are now. Are you willing to pull the trigger that morning? Because that's how it might come through. It might come through as on a Saturday, is scheduled for Monday or for the next day, Sunday. But this one came through as 8 a.m. Saturday pickup, and it came through at 6:02. I saw it at 6:40.
What were you delivering? That would have been a deciding factor for me.
It was from a shipper that I use through Curry a lot. It's not it's not electric, it's not plumbing, it's not paint, but it's always something. And it just said one item, 72 pounds.
If I had the time, I
I
would.
don't know whether I could lift 72 pounds.
They'd put it in for you.
Okay.
So,
I would do
but
it.
If I had childcare, I would do it.
Yeah, like it has to be like circumstances where, because like I said, you have to kind of be ready on call at, let's say not any time, but you have, it may be a short, I guess, notice. So you have to have your things shored up. Like if you either didn't have any kids or your kids are old enough where you could just be out for it, 2 days, it'd definitely be worth at least my while. So it really depends on your situation.
John, what about you?
I couldn't do it. I wouldn't have the availability. I'd have to be able to get range, everything in time and affairs, and yeah.
Okay, well, I know that you have your other gig too, so let me change it a bit. What if it came through on a Friday afternoon saying it was a Saturday morning scheduled pickup?
I still got dogs and other stuff to take care of and house sitting and stuff. So
Saturday morning, I could do it all day.
I like John's answer though, because I mean, I got to tell you, everybody who was watching Last Mile, everybody said yes. I'm a hard yes, and like I said, when I saw it, I was like, crap. Even as I opened it, I'm like, it better not be taken. It better not be taken. And it was taken. So I mean, like, I was already knowing I'm grabbing this thing.
If it's the weekend, I have more availability because my daughter's not in school and my husband's home. So if it was the weekend, I probably would have been able to do it. If weekday,
right, I get it. You have Hannibal. You have the youngest kid.
Well, that's the awesome thing about for young people who are in their 20s. Like, I wish this was around when I was in my 20s, when I barely knew what the hell I was doing with my life. That you don't have a lot of responsibilities. You get yourself a car, and you just make money. I mean, I look at young people, even like content creators that just do these crazy challenges, which I can't do anymore because I'm just too tired. I don't want to do that.
I actually have a question for all of you guys. And probably this might be more for Steve and I, but it might apply to you guys too. If gig work was available when we graduated high school, would you have gone to college, or would you have kind of veered it around and gone into gig work because it's so it actually pays the bills?
I would have gone to college and had even more fun in college.
I mean, again, are we talking about like this era? Like, I don't like this era.
Yeah, things are a little different. I
like when we grew up.
My parents wanted me to go to college, so college was important, right? But I think I'll go with John. Like, you would have more fun. You would have more money in your pocket. I remember struggling, trying to figure out the books. Why did books? They're probably still expensive. Why are they so expensive?
They're a scam.
Get DoorDash, do DoorDash for a week or 2 weeks, and I have enough money to pay for the books. So I think it would have been a better experience, to be honest. Maybe some issues still with grades, because when the money is coming that well compared to how DoorDash was back then, you may be spending too much time working and then not, enough time studying. But I wish this was around a little earlier. I mean,
see, again, here's an answer. Here's Pedro.
Pedro's crazy, and he'll take anything.
But again, would you though? I understand that you would love the order and the money, but would you? Because at best, this was giving you 2 hours to be there. That's what I'm really putting out at people, is that, like, that's what I'm trying to tell you about with Curry, is that some are gonna come in, they're like for an hour and a half later, and they're gonna be asking you to take, and really that's gonna be about 2.5 days minimum, because really, like, it's 12.5 hours each way. So you're gonna have to at least spend 10 hours sleeping, and I don't know. I would think it's going to be about 2.5 days by the time you're done.
It's interesting because I think most probably cannot do it for many reasons. Not just can't do it. It's just there's, but I think there's enough people where, like you said, you missed it. Someone is going to grab it, but some people have to, like I said, calculating those thoughts. Okay, can I do it? Do I have enough time? Can someone feed my dog? Can someone feed my kid? By that time, a nice young man, 21 years old, with no responsibility, just accept, and he goes and makes that money. So.
A young man that age, he's not only going to have to make that money. By the time he gets to Memphis, he's going to have some app that knows where a party's at.
Yeah, he may blow that person may blow all the money as well too. So that's definitely need to handle it.
I mean, and by the way, guys, when ours is over here, make sure to go over and see Dashing Grandpa's live. He always does his live after this one. So, but he says he wouldn't do it either. So he's got arrangements. So I mean, when I did Last Mile, everybody said yes. Yeah, of course I would have quit. But I don't think I hit on the point of really you could in an hour and a half be 20 minutes from your house, packed, ready to go, everything that you need to arrange, everything done. Like it's almost like, when your, significant other or, whatever is pregnant and you got the go bag ready. You got to have one of those with Curry if you're going to do these. Because you got to be ready to go, hey man, later.
I think it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of am in that space. Like I always have a go bag anyway because I have my backcountry stuff, but I've got it and it's got some clothes in it just in case, and I just have to put some toiletries together, and I've given Max a heads up. So, so if I were to do it,
like that,
he
man.
knows. But that's another difference between me. Like Hannibal's kid is between Kim and Max's age, more towards Max's age. But Kim's is the youngest. I mean, we're in 3 different scenarios here.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, to me, I think a lot of people honestly wouldn't. And everybody, that's why I was putting it out, because everybody's saying, of course they would. They were just thinking the money.
Right.
But I was thinking, man, and I'm not just talking about the time doing the work either and driving. I'm talking about getting it together in an hour and leaving.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, even for me being ready, that's a tough one. On any given week, that would be a tough one for me on any given day. Like, oh, can I leave in an hour? Jeez. Because I usually have so many things juggling.
Yeah.
It's
Dash and Grandpa has a pretty good comment. He said, I wouldn't recommend young folks to skip college and do just gig work 10 years from now. He said, I'm not sure that 80% of gig apps will be around. So yeah, definitely. Because the money would be great, right? Like if we were talking about what happened, like maybe 5-10 years ago, where gig work was pretty decent. I think a lot of young people probably did thought like at that time, man, forget, why am I paying for college or whatever? But you don't want to fall all in to gig work, in my opinion. I think you definitely want at least develop some skills that go beyond, just doing the stuff that you do in your car.
So, of course I do Roy and Rodeo, but he corrected.
Who's Rodeo?
Yeah, so Rodeo, but here, yeah. Of course I do, man. I always have a go bag.
I don't have a go bag.
I mean, and Hannibal's, of course, should have a go bag. He lives in
I'm
New
escape
York
from
City,
New York.
where it's going to be a zombie apocalypse. My God, dude. How do you dare not have a go bag?
There's like 20 million, movies about, escape from New York.
Listen, if something goes down here, I'm screwed. Where I'm going. There's too
You're not
many
going
people
anywhere.
Here. Exactly. Someone pretend I can get myself out of here. Can't drive if something like that's happening. All of the roads are blocked. It's done. I'm just.
It's not like Independence Day where they think you can just get out of a tunnel in 2 seconds.
Exactly.
So, we're 22 minutes in. I'm gonna real quick say hi to everybody, and then we'll get what articles we can out of these tonight. We'll see. Welcome everyone. Hey Josh. Hey Thomas. Hey Rick. Sounds like Rick will be coming to GigCon and the Saturday event as well.
That's awesome.
So excited to hear that. So hopefully a lot of you are coming. Some of you I know are here in Denver, and I know you'll be there. Like here, Derek.
Or else.
We know Derek's in Denver, so. So what's up, Derek? What's up, Kevin? What's up moving? I'm having I think Gary's hacked my internet. Oh my gosh. What's up, Zach? Although you left, I saw it. What's up, Dashing Grandpa? What's up, Gigan? Hi, Marissa. Oh, by the way, you guys, Marissa's dad's doing much better.
Awesome.
All anybody needs to hear. So
that's awesome news.
Yeah. If you don't know, just it's all good. So send well wishes. What's up, Bud Soda? What's happening? Christopher Taylor. Man, I got way behind here. What's up, Tony? What's up, Pedro? What's up, Sean? What's up, Roy? What's up, Red? What's up, everybody? No, what's up? I think I'm caught up. I don't know. What's up, Sassy? What's up, Drone? And okay, finally we're back to it. Damn. So okay, but did you see? So here we go. Did you see the man accused of taking Uber to New Hampshire to deliver 25 pounds of meth?
Nice.
You guys,
Oh, it wasn't cocaine from the warehouse. I mean, from the White
it
House.
shot like, you know what really shocked me was the other day I learned that Pedro doesn't use a dash cam. And I'm not even plugging something here. I'm really not, but it shocked me to learn that. You better be using a dash cam just because you never know what the hell's going to happen, man. I mean, like, luckily this person did. I mean, what would you do? I mean, the state trooper is going to probably believe you, but do you even want to take that chance of being tied up? That, I mean, very likely they could think that you took some kind of cash payment to be involved in it, make it look like an Uber ride. So you'd really want some.
Was it an Uber Connect or was it an Uber ride?
It was a rider.
Oh, a rider.
The backpack, I'm guessing.
Oh, so I guess it wouldn't be that big of a like. I don't know this guy.
Wouldn't it be on the rider then, though? If it's on like the actual possession.
Well, that's
of the
so.
rider?
Hold on.
Because I'm wondering like the idea that
Oh, wait, no. Okay, so it wasn't a rider, it was Connect. Sorry about this, guys.
Oh, okay. So that would
25 pounds of crystal meth was delivered to the undercover agent in Rochester.
Well, they did it.
That is hilarious. That's not hilarious, but that's kind of funny. Like that's just kind of funny.
You gotta know, like, this story doesn't give you many details at all. It's kind of one of these just kind of base things. You know, this Uber driver like pissed his pants because you know
I would be so mad if I was the Uber. Like I was Uber. I was like, I can't believe this. Because why would the undercover cop believe you? Why would the cops believe you?
Yeah, they
like why? They wouldn't.
The driver even knew. Like, do you think the guy told him, or do you think he took it? You know, he let the guy off, and then they went over and did this deal. Then busted the guy.
Well, I'm sure he told him. I'm sure he's somehow on a phone, a burner, whatever. I mean, I can go way off the deep end, but somehow sent him. Hey, I sent it in an Uber Connect. I can track. I mean, because you can track it too. So here you can track this.
Serious question: if this happened to you guys, right? Are you talking to the cops? Or are you getting a lawyer? Or are you just gonna try to explain?
I'm calling. I would call my lawyer here, but I would call legal rideshare always first. Just because Bryant can get you, he can tell you not to say anything, get you out of being held.
That's what. I would say I'm probably not saying anything. Like they're not going to help me figure this out. They assume I brought drugs here, so I'm not talking. But I was wondering what you guys would do, like try to explain, like this is not me, I didn't do it.
Well, first of all,
Uber Jeeps driver.
Can we all learn from this? We've been saying it here for like over a year now. Never do Uber Connect. Like for the love, no one ever do Uber Connect. It is so bad, and there's so many liabilities. Don't ever do Uber Connect.
Unless you're choosing between Uber Connect and Uber Teen, in which case always do Uber Connect.
So you'll potentially take meth, then you'll take a young.
I'd rather put my ass on the line for making a dumb decision than have some kid killed.
How about you? I just think most likely you're not dealing with meth. But I understand the circumstances.
This guy
you don't know. He did, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm just going the idea, if that ever happened, what should you do? But I think I agree with what you say, Steve. Get a lawyer.
Have a dash cam too, guys. I mean, I'm telling you, because like, look, like, what if it wasn't a sting operation, and somehow the people on the other side weren't going to pay for this, and it wasn't paid for already, and somehow we're going to just shoot you and take it. We have heard those type stories where something just stupid like this happened and somebody got killed over it, the driver, and then they took the car. We don't know that a lot of those car thieves aren't things like this where they're stacked with something. I mean, you just don't know. I guess that's my point. And they're these huge, like, they opened the duffel, and I mean, they're these huge green bags came out of the duffel.
Oh, nice. Wow.
So that drug dealer thought he was so smart. Like, I'm not going to deliver it. I'll get an Uber Eats driver to deliver it for me.
Yeah.
But can't they just trace it back to the originator of the Uber order?
I mean, the person's name doesn't have to be on these orders anymore, right? Like, they still have the fake names, so it could have been anybody's name on there with a burner phone, knock off account somewhere.
You are supposed to. When does it become a must? You are supposed to change your stuff and not have a pile of your dog's poop or his face and his name as your information anymore, even on the rider and passenger
Yeah.
customers.
But couldn't you just show the police your phone that has all the information on it that you're on an Uber Eats order? Like they can actually see the app and
But-
they can actually go through and actually see that you're legit.
Here's my thing though. Okay, so this went from where'd it go? Because it went across a state line. That's always a big issue too. So it went to New Hampshire. First of all,
that's
those
bad.
states are tough too. Connecticut, New Hampshire, very tough on things. So if he crossed 2-3 states, here's my thing though too. Like Kim said, if you do have the app and you do, let's say you have a friend, let's say you're a drug dealer and you have and another person that you do this with, you have them call for an Uber Connect till they get you. When they get you, they stick it in your car. You don't touch it. Didn't you just get away with trafficking, even though you're part of it, because you can pull the app out and say, "No, man, I'm working."
Yeah, they're not going to let you go. Even if you have that app, they got to do the whole investigation.
You're
So
letting
even
him
if you
go.
showed your phone, they're like, you're still not.
But they let him go.
They didn't detain him?
Well, no.
They didn't put him. They just let him go.
Well,
as soon as he got off?
no, but like a day later, he's done.
Okay, I'm saying I'm sure they
Or
kept
like
him
hours
for-
later. I mean, I was trying to find,
Yeah.
but it's like, I guess my point is like, really, you could be like, look, my fingerprints aren't on it because Uber Connects are loaded by the other. I mean, you can help them, but they're loaded sometimes by the people, or you could ask that they load it. So
but sometimes I mean I dealt it a few times for small stuff like dog food, no drugs, or a pair of keys. I hand them the envelope of keys. I hand them the bag of food. So like you can touch some things, and I think also is interesting. What happened if you are doing Uber Eats and you have a criminal record, right? You're not doing anything now. You're trying to get your stuff together, and you fall into something like this, where they're like, "Well, look at this guy's record. Maybe he's not telling the truth." Like there's so much stuff that can happen by taking an Uber Connect order, which like I agree with Kim. Do not take them. You never know. It could be dog food or drugs. It could be either or.
I see Mr. DSN's asking about the Nashville order. He's saying, what if the 75-pound order was... And the thing is with Curry, it's B2B stuff. So I might have that concern with like a roadie or something, but I wouldn't with... And like definitely, I would never even do Uber Connect. To me, that's like Uber Teen. I would never touch it. I mean, even Necro, what's Necro say here? Like... What if you get stopped by a corrupt cop and he takes it? That's a good question. Because now
we're just talking about movies, right?
Yeah, because now if you go to the delivery spot or back to the person who rented you, they're going to kill you.
This is Training Day.
You're on the hook for that now.
Collateral.
Yeah, I don't
What's
know.
the other?
Go in hiding and move to Canada. I don't know. Not next week.
That quarter, now you're 6 feet under. What a way.
So
Dash and Grandpa said it better be a good tip. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's probably a no tip.
So of course this is Daily Dot, but it's not one of the normal just like trash ones. This one's a little, because this one hits to home with me big time. And it ends up not being like it's probably a little clickbait, but it ends up not being so much clickbait. And actually there's a big problem with this story. So 14-year-old DoorDasher delivers Starbucks order with 44 drinks.
I was
only made $61. No,
I was reading this and I was shaking my head.
What's that?
I was reading this and I was shaking my head.
Yeah. So I mean, we go through this and it's like the kid went into the Starbucks and they were putting 6 drinks per bag into a bag. He was taking them out to a car and loading them up, and it ended up being at least the assumption that they're saying, and it's probably what I believe, Kim, I don't know about you, but is that he was probably dashing with his parents. So his parents had him going in. But here's the thing. They also had him take it all up to the door. Do you know that, yes, you can take your kids along in the car with you, but do you know that like if you were to trip and fall on their property, you could potentially sue them, but not under the terror, because like you're actually he would actually be trespassing because he is not legal on the platform.
Well, the thing is this, that if you watch his videos, he's actually in the driver's seat. So I think the kid is probably, number one, has a car that he shouldn't be driving and no license. Number two, probably has an account on his phone from who knows where. And he has about 50,000 followers. So he's doing a lot of things kind of funny there, you know.
I know. This stuff is not funny to me. I
No.
hate underage stuff.
There are too many. And God, look at all the news articles just this year alone. There are too many sick individuals out there that would take advantage of someone who's a minor. And that's my main concern, is the safety piece of it. You can instill a work. I think I was reading some of the comments, and they were commending him on a work ethic and learning how to, get a work ethic early. And I'm thinking there's other ways of instilling work ethic in kids besides going out and door dashing. But I feel like I have so many unanswered questions. Like, if it is his own account, how did DoorDash allow something like this to happen? Like, I feel like there's so many unanswered questions that
you can buy a DoorDash account for like $50.
It's
I don't really understand how all that works, and it's not my thing, but
I have a question. He's definitely a 14-year-old kid.
Yeah, he's definitely skirting some kind of regulations. But I could see why people would commend it, because of being young and wanting to make money for yourself. And at the same time, there are kids out there, teenagers, who need to work. They don't have
but like if a teenager working at McDonald's slips his hand into the fryer, he's fully covered.
I understand all of those things, but the idea of gig work is attractive to lots of people, not just adults. So I understand why a kid would want to do it, because they either have kids, they may be siblings, but they may be taking care of them. Like, there's a lot of different issues. I think this kid maybe just, I don't know. He has a TikTok channel. You said, like, he has subscribers.
Yeah, well, let's just total stab in the dark. Do you think that because kids do know about tech at that age? Absolutely. Do you think he black marketed an account, or do you think he's using his parents' account and they're letting him?
That's even worse.
They're probably letting him.
That's what I'm saying. Do you think there's a parent who used to do it, now he's got a W-2, kind of tries to do it? Sometimes he's like, yeah, you go do it. Sometimes
it could be a grandparent. That's not.
I'm just wondering, because I've talked to a lot of people around the country. I know parents who would do that. I always am advocating to, not to be in their face, but there's a point where I need to step in and go, yo.
Can you put up Josh's comment?
Which one?
The last one.
That's funny. They didn't ask you for that sort of thing, but
I think the fact that he's doing it for content, I think he's just probably
it's a little different compared to.
I think it's probably a black market, so that way he doesn't mess anything up in his personal life.
Yeah,
100%, Tony.
Yeah, I agree.
100%.
And that's the other part that makes me wonder if he's really a 14-year-old kid, because if he has any type of parenting figure.
Well, there were lots of people saying that, I wondered, in his comments, things like, I wondered why he looked so young too, or how old do you have to, one of them was, how old do you have to be to work for DoorDash? 11?
Can I play devil's advocate for half a second? And this might be a gimmick because it's TikTok. What happens if he is 17 or 18 years old, has a driver's license, but looks like he's 14? I never looked at my age growing up ever. So what happens if he really is 18 years old, but he really looks like he's 14, and he's making a YouTube or a TikTok gimmick out of this, making a reaction to get followers on TikTok?
That has happened of people.
Right. My only devil's advocate to that would be that the article alludes to that they can't get an actual interview with him, but his age, they wouldn't be okay to write an interview with him and publish it, because he's not able to consent to do that.
And he's a solid 5'7", if not taller. This is a big 14-year-old. He doesn't show his face, but you can kind of see a reflection. He's I don't believe he's 14. I'll say that.
You don't think so?
I don't believe so.
You think he is 14 and a half?
Look, I'm trying to age his hands here, and his hands look at least 17. Yeah, those hands have a little bit of calluses on them.
It's hard, fair. Yeah, especially
John has skills, guys, that we can't even talk about here.
Look at the
it's hard to believe. It's hard to believe what you see on TikTok, and it's hard to believe that type of stuff.
Yeah,
Oh,
but I
185.
mean, I know there are some people doing that stuff, but at the same time, there is a lot of stuff being put out there now too that is real. I mean, you can tell about there's some stuff you got to question for sure, and even you might not come to a conclusion, but there's some stuff you can definitely tell is real.
Right.
I don't know. I like seeing them in the daily doc because some are so stupid. Sometimes it's people we know, like often it's Gig Life. He seems to be their primary target.
Yeah, he's
I
like,
don't know.
I was in the deli dot again.
Yeah, they might as well just pay the man so he can work at the website.
Hater.
Yeah.
I feel like be another side gig for him.
So I'm kind of jumping around here. So I'm going to do this one, and then Hannibal's going to talk about a solo thing. But this is, I want to show you guys this. So there's an article out about Hawaii pricing. We've always seen these kind of articles, but they've been doing these tests, and these aren't even surges. These are just like, you're going to see a time of the difference between when they logged on, the price it was, and then how long before they logged on again on the same phone and what the price was. And in the first one, it might feel just a little skewed, and like, that's not that bad, but wait for the second slide. I want to show you something. So Honolulu, so I can't 22 something to 23 something 20 minutes later. Okay, not that bad. 22.45 to 21.99, not that bad. This one from the airport, so 49.93 to 29.93 25 minutes later. And again, remember guys, there's no surge down there. They don't have surge down there. They just, from even every article I've ever read on Hawaii, they've got enough drivers. They don't ever do a surge. So Lihue is the airport for Maui. So 56.91 to 60.95 after 30 minutes. But I want you to look at these because these are Kauai. I've been to Kauai before, or I think most of them are, maybe all of them are. So look at when the first attempt, 85.98, 15 minutes later, 21.96.
That's crazy.
163.91 and then 30 minutes later, 41.96. 66.91, 40 minutes later, 43. But I want to show you this. So the two Lihue ones, so those are for Kauai, and here's the route. So that 200, that whatever it was, the which one was it? The one that says 161 that went to 41.96. That's this.
That's a big difference.
Look at that.
That's crazy.
But it's not even like, you guys got to understand. I don't know if anybody here has ever been to Hawaii, but down there, it's not like, even at the airports, there's not flights coming in that often. There's island hoppers that go between them, but there's not like, internationally, you can only go into Honolulu or Maui. You have to come into one of those two, and then you can hop around. So like, if you're at Kauai, that airport's like maybe got 5 flights a day that come in. That's it. I mean, it's maybe 6, I don't know, kind of thing. I mean, it's very small. And so there's no surge ever. This is just them literally playing with price. Like when a plane lands, Uber's just like, jacket 500%.
Wow.
And I just thought I'd point that out. I don't know if the rideshare guys have seen this yet. I think they should talk about it too, because this is blatant. They don't have enough drivers down there to have a surge. So this is just, we're stealing from you. And we're going to, and we know you don't, flying all the way to Hawaii, we know you don't want to wait a half hour. Okay, well, I will to make 160 go to 40.
And where's all that money going?
I'd wait.
To Uber. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, that's my point.
Yeah, drivers.
Drivers not getting any part of that.
But the drivers, I mean, isn't that what the drivers were seeing though? Yeah. Or wait, maybe this was the customer side. Yeah, this is the customer side. He was
That was the customer side. That's crazy.
Yeah, so the driver, I don't know, I guess just moved the decimal over 1 to the left.
That's what you did.
So 1639. for the Uber X.
Wouldn't you be like, no, man, I'm gonna walk. It's only 7. It's only how many miles?
Well, it's kind of it's like a jungle down there. It actually is. So, but yeah, what's Hannibal? You want to talk about the well, it's kind of just solo, really. Hannibal. By the way, guys, Hannibal was with he was whining and dining with the big folks last night with Bryce from Solo.
Nice.
Yeah, I was hanging out with Bryce and Keith, both co-founders of Solo. We went to a nice little bar in Brooklyn. The first time I've been to that bar during the day. Day drinking is pretty cool. I didn't really realize it because I usually don't drink until I finish everything in my day. But I'm like, this is pretty nice. Maybe I need to do this more often. But just kind of like catching up and talking about their plans and what they're doing. Obviously, what we're gonna be doing in Denver. And I guess if you've been on any of our channels, you probably already know what Solo is. But I guess if I had to have like one sentence, I think Solo is basically like a financial management service. That sounds fancy, but for gig workers, kind of setting you up where you realize that this is a business, right? Even though there's some back and forth on what we are, but Solo, they believe that you are a business, so they're going to help you as much as possible. So the app is kind of like the business in the box, like as Bryce likes to say often, where you're getting all the stuff that we kind of accustomed to when you see some of these apps. You've seen like the auto track your miles and income tracker and all those type of things, maximize tax deductions, all those really important things. But also, I guess the most important part, or I guess the secret sauce, is the pay guarantee and the smart schedule, so you have a better idea on how much money you can make at a certain day with a certain app. So just talking to Bryce and Keith, they really have some really big ideas how to expand this beyond just smart scheduling and pay guarantee. They really want to make gig work as, I guess, stable and reliable as possible. They understand, both of them former employees of Uber, understand how Uber works. So they are able to kind of understand, like right now, I think they have like 150,000 drivers that they're using the information for to predict some of the, I guess, the price guaranteed, I guess, quotas and stuff like that. So they're still working on it. I guess not perfect. Even Bryce would say this is not a perfect price guarantee. They got to get more information. They got to get their algorithms going. They even thought about making an app for Spanish-speaking people, which I think is pretty amazing if they can pull that off, because there's a lot of Spanish people speaking folks that are doing gig work. And that language barrier, they can get themselves being manipulated by the bigger companies as well, because everything's in English. So I think if you guys have a chance to check out Solo, I think definitely want to join it. Especially right now, I think how many states they have right now? I don't even know.
A lot.
Right now, 50 major metros. So they're in California. They're in New York City. Started yesterday. And it's great timing. I told Bryce, like, great timing, considering that they kicked the can down the road.
That's why he was there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kicked the can down the road with the New York City minimum wage law being pushed back, because the companies decided to sue because they didn't want to pay the gig workers $17.96 per hour. So he comes in at great timing. So I think a lot of people in New York City will benefit from it. So keep checking out Solo. I think the pay guarantee stuff is going to improve, and they have a lot of plans, again, how to make gig work more stable, because that's the thing that all of us, right? It's unpredictable. I still think to be a gig worker, especially full time, you have to be a little crazy, right? Like you get up every morning and it's like, I don't know how much am I gonna make today. Let me just go out and figure that out. I'm like, that's not something most people want to do, to be honest, right?
Is it crazy, or do some of us just have like I'm an outdoor enthusiast and I like to do like somewhat dangerous stuff?
We can tell, yes.
So is it just maybe like that adrenaline rush too? Plus you get to make money and it's on your terms, and
it's a little bit of everything, right? Like that. Restlessness, you don't want it to be different. Like every it could be a new opportunity to make a lot of money or crash and burn. But even if you're a part-timer, I think it's still great to you only have a certain amount of time to work. You don't want to waste your time going out when it's not feasible or not financially viable for you to go out. So even if you are a part-timer, I think it's even more important, because you don't have a lot of time. You already have your W-2, so you definitely want to check that out.
Yeah, the other thing too is that I think some of this will enter into Solo's field because, like, I mean, and I was talking to Stephanie V Hill about this. Because we've been talking a lot on the phone because of the August 5th event, but she was telling me about a lot of sectors outside of things we even know that are going to gig apps, which we've been saying for a long time. Nursing's pretty much there, but she was telling me about these others and where some problems are already occurring, but they're already happening. So I mean, delivery's not gonna be gig like in a few years. Now you won't be thinking, oh, you work for DoorDash. If somebody's like, I'm in the gig, I work gig apps. Like I feel like every business on some level, once the independent contractors, the app-based ones are redefined and some of this legislation happens, I honestly feel like almost every business is going to have a gig worker or 2 or 10 that enters at some point and level. Well, I mean, like, are all W-2s going away? No, but I think they're going to be able to very much customize, a la carte, trim their business and outsource some of the stuff to independent contractors.
Yeah. And if you go to worksolo.com, you can do this for free. You go to the website, you can look at the top right-hand side. You look at pay insights. You can go there, select a city, select a platform, and you'll see how much money they're making. If you Atlanta, look at DoorDash, you click search, and you'll see what they think what people are making in that area. So I think that's where Solo is trying to get as much information as possible to make accurate predictions. And so far they're moving pretty fast. And Bryce and Keith are very energetic. They definitely think this is going to get bigger and bigger.
I mean, isn't it crazy that Bryce, Chris, Matt from Moves, and David from Para all worked for Uber before they did what they do?
Yeah.
I guess you need to know what's going on inside before you can find, like, okay, this is probably, there's a market here for a business. I think that Solo started in 2020, I believe, right? You think? I think it's something sooner, something kind of.
No, because I did my first interview. I was the first one to interview Bryce when they were only in Seattle, and that was like 2019.
2019. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did they all know each other at?
Yeah. Oh no. Well, I can't speak for Keith, but David knew Matt. Matt was above. So David and Bryce were both district managers for Arizona, Las Vegas area. So they were both they'd see each other in passing off and kind of were equal. And Matt was above them in a different area too, a different state or whatever, but they knew him because he was somebody higher up. So yeah, they all knew each other through Uber. Yeah.
I always say it's just such a small world.
Yeah, but then they all I'm sure other people that just absolutely left out of those type positions, but these three got passionate about it and decided, you know what, this is wrong. I can see the flaws. I'm going to try something on my own. So I mean, for all the hating we do on Uber, hey, it allowed these people to do good things and find where the problems were. But
yeah, I mean that's what a good business finds a problem and they offer a solution. So
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I remember that. I do know this though, too, guys. When Solo launches in a market, so if you go to a market and you're doing the pricing out thing, like let's say that it launches in Houston and only 2 people are using it for rideshare. That the number they're basing and showing you is based on those 2 people. You really need some people on it to give some data back. Otherwise, you might just be getting like this crazy paying neighborhood and you're like, oh, it does that well, and you live on the other side of town. It might not match up at all. Even the guaranteed part might go down. So even Solo will tell you they need people on the platform, because that is, how else would you get the data? How else would you even know?
Yeah. I mean, Steve, I actually this question, I don't know if you checked it out, but in New York, so far on Solo, what makes more money, or you think is a higher average pay? Instacart, DoorDash, or Uber Eats?
Clearly, since you asked me this, Instacart.
Yep. You make more money on Instacart than Uber Eats than DoorDash. Isn't that funny?
Well, Instacart's probably even more difficult than anything in New York City. That kind of makes sense to me because you say it's even hard to deliver like just food.
first of all, the groceries are ridiculously expensive, so you're hopefully like they're getting some kind of at least 20%.
You got to park and unload.
And then you got to
them?
park and unload.
Ugh.
It's so
Usually, you do see some families helping unload the groceries when you order them from Instacart. So it's like a family affair as well. It's some instances, but yeah, at least it says about $20 an hour. That's not a ton of money, but compared to DoorDash and Uber Eats, it's a big difference. I think DoorDash is $13.
Oh, that's
$13.
wild.
Yeah.
Is that
Again,
that's gotta
they
be,
still
like,
need to
after
bring more
expenses.
information in. It's still obviously they just launched, but yeah, if you want to make some money, do some Instacart,
Yeah.
right, Steve?
No. I mean, I would if it made money, I would do it. Yeah. But I can't make money on it. It sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
try it.
I'll just turn. Let's just see. Yeah, let's just. I know it's night. It's 8:00 here.
I'd be surprised if you get any offers, but then again, I don't
There's
like-
usually something in there. It's just garbage, though. Oh wait, I forgot phones listen to you now. It's going to deactivate me for talking about it. So yeah, let's just see this.
Oh yeah, and also just one real quick. I think if all the gig working jobs in New York City, I think you still wind up making more money being a rideshare driver. So I know people have went back and forth, but looking at some of the numbers, you're still making over $20-$25, or at least,
Okay, there's
around
one.
$25. What?
I just wanted to snapshot it before somebody took it. It's awful, I think.
It's awful.
You think?
Probably
Yeah,
a
so
banger.
okay, here we go. I've
Yes.
got the screenshot. Let me just go offline because I don't want this crap. Oh, it's just, and then it got taken. I always wonder about that. Like, did it really get taken?
I think they played mind games just like every other
Yeah.
company.
They knew I was turning it off. I never take anything. Of course I'm turning it off. Okay, so I know where this one is. This store is about 10 minutes away from me. And then it's a 1.4 delivery. It's an $8 batch with a $2.83 tip. So it's $10.83. One shop and deliver, 14 items, 21 units. This is the best order I've ever seen in my market. I'm
Yeah.
not kidding.
That's a lot of work for $10.
I mean, I'm not joking, guys. Usually $8 to $10 is usually about 40 to 50 items and about 40 to 70 units. That's what I see here.
Yeah.
So like this is something that obviously somebody just didn't take tonight. It's 8:01. They still want it. And
I just
Well,
just
that's not
turned
anything
mine on.
for Instacart. They're saying that's the worst one you've seen.
I
no,
just
it's the
turned,
best one I've seen.
Oh, okay.
It gets worse apparently.
It gets
Yeah,
worse from
they're
there.
not this.
I just turned mine on and it says, "Oh, hey, Kimberly, looks like you're working late." You think?
Welcome. Yeah, you ready to make some money?
Well, was there an order in yours?
No,
Oh.
nothing. It just says
So-
looking for batches. It's going around in circles.
I mean, yeah, John, no joke. Like usually, I'm not okay. I mean, just being as kind as I can, like 35 items, 50 units. That's going to be an $8 no tip order here in Denver. Always. Because I turn it on every day. I do not leave it on, but I turn it on when I know it's the times now. And I do see more orders, so I know it is the right time, but they're that bad. All of them. I don't get Instacart at all.
When the last time you did an Instacart?
When I did the shipped Instacart challenge, and I did like 90% shipped because I was watching John's videos. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. And that's when shipped was good. That was December what?
I shipped is who?
No, but it was like December 2021.
I tried to try
Is
this-
that you, John? You were making shipped videos then, right?
So 2021, yes.
Like November, December.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, I think that's when he was kind of
Also
cranking
last-
out a bunch.
21, early 2022,
Yeah.
most of 2022 until I got to Spark.
But when I was watching your videos, like I was doing really well on shipped. really well. And it was the holiday season. I don't know if you guys remember this, but
Holiday season is always consistently good for ship. Whatever.
I mean, I was new to it. I got on. I started the challenge. It was for 6 weeks. Which of these I was like, which of these 2 crap apps is worse? That was
Crap
my whole theory. And so I ended up finding out Shipped was great. Now Shipped is just as bad as the other. But I mean, then like I got $100 cash tip plus tips through there for just kind of taking like somebody wanted a Lego set from Target. That set was gone. And it was one of those 2,000 piece sets. And all of us parents here know that those are not $10.
Legos are not cheap.
But the 2,000 piece ones and stuff, those are not
Yes.
cheap. Those
No.
are a couple $100 at least.
When did Legos become so freaking
That's great,
expensive?
right?
Like I remember growing up,
'Cause
and,
there's
like,
no better
everybody
toy
had
than it.
Legos.
And they know that. That's why
Right,
they
that's
jack
why.
the price up.
They know it.
They know it. It's
They're
like,
like,
you're
"Dude,
gonna buy this.
Go
Your
ahead,
kid's
make
gonna let you-
anything you
yeah.
want. But honestly,
This
like,
is-
so I was just taking pictures because like there was probably in that price range, whatever it was, $199 for the one she wanted. It's gone. I asked somebody, they didn't have it. And I looked on all of that bottom rack where there was like 8 more different ones of different things. And there was only 2 sets left. I took a picture of each one and she's like, will you buy both of those? I
Wow.
said, sure.
That's
Got
what
both,
she
and
had,
she
like,
tipped me. She came out, tipped me $100 cash. Or I don't know if she added to it or whatnot, or if I can't remember if I didn't see the tip till after. But that was another thing then too. I don't think you saw the tip till after, but the tips were good.
They tip
Like Ship
good.
people
But
knew the tip then, at least. I don't know about now. I can't speak for it because I haven't used it in a while. But
Ship is a
Um,
nice roll. I do.
But yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that Instacart says my Instacart card expires in 2025. And I haven't done one since December 2021.
Oh, I wonder.
It lets me go online every day. It's like, sure. Like, do you really think today's the day? And if you do, why don't you send me something decent? If you really want, like, you'd see me turning it on.
Maybe you gotta take
Like
some
every day
orders.
I'm turning it on. I'm making you send me data. Wouldn't you want to like at least try and see if I do one?
Just Instacart, she's not that into you.
I know, but it's wasting its money on me too, is my point. You see what I'm saying? Like, why send me the data? Just, I mean, look at if this, like, it goes to the transparency thing, but it also like, why not just let me set some filters? Look, I'm not interested in anything other than this.
Yeah.
I mean, it would help the companies too. Just if they're not, first of all, just be transparent. Just be transparent, man. But I guess that wouldn't help Instacart. They are transparent. They're just horrible. So yeah, I don't know. I don't want to talk about the stabbing. It bothered me. The Domino's thing, I guess we can hit that one. And then maybe
Domino's, Uber Eats.
what's that? Yeah. I don't know. I find this after all this time, I find this kind of strange.
Considering weren't they all campaigning against gig apps and they're never going to use gig
They
apps?
were.
I mean, they were standing
That's
by it
crazy.
almost to like the death. Like
Yeah.
we'll go out of business before we'll use those people.
Bend the knee, Domino's.
And weren't
Right,
they
but
buying their own
that's a big
cars
deal.
too? Wasn't
That's a
that their
big
whole
deal
thing?
to like. I mean,
They
that
bought
means that
electric cars too. Yeah, they invested a bunch of money into.
Yeah.
yeah, but if they're gonna like do this, I feel like they're gonna phase out the paid drivers.
So what
Okay.
exactly is happening? I'm sorry.
So after years of holding out while Papa John's and Pizza Hut's jumped into third party delivery, Domino's, the world's largest pizza company, has signed a deal allowing U.S. customers to order its products through the Uber Eats and Postmates app. I think that's funny too. Like, why are they? I know it's still around in markets, but why do you advertise it? If you just said Uber Eats, everybody go to that.
Yeah.
But sending people there.
Big in some random place somewhere.
But it says Uber Eats will be the exclusive third-party platform for Domino's in the U.S. until at least 2024. The initial U.S. rollout of the agreement will begin this fall in our 4 pilot markets, with ordering on Uber Eats and Postmates anticipated to be enabled across the country by the end of this year.
Did they say they got like a new CEO or something? Like, I feel like it's
So
like
here's
a
an
whole
interesting
shift
thing.
of-
Here, here's what I read in this article. It says Domino's will still be the face our customers see at the door, while Uber will be providing us with adequate data to understand delivery efficiency and incrementality. So they're saying that this deal is just for people to order through the Uber Eats app, but it's still going to be Domino's doing the deliveries.
Yeah,
Huh?
but don't you feel like with time this all switches? I don't know. I
Yeah,
feel like
I would assume they're doing
sure,
this because of a labor issue. Because if you're Uber Eats driver, you may have left and decided just well I'll deliver with all the gig apps that they've tested to see if this actually can work. But if they're gonna still use their drivers, then they're just collecting data, and that's what an Uber
That's
Eats.
what they're saying. They're saying because there's some people that only order food through the Uber Eats app, is what they say. And they
right.
want
They think they're losing business. Right.
Oh,
They
okay.
think they're losing business because they're not
Over
on the
Papa
app.
John's and
But
Pizza
as you
Hut.
go down the article too, you got the Domino's CEO saying that they are the most successful marketplace in the pizza space.
Well, they're profitable.
Really?
I mean,
Yeah,
Domino's,
I
right?
mean-
Domino's restaurants are profitable. They deliver.
Yeah.
Like, that's what they were. I remember either CEO or someone important from Domino's saying, "I don't understand the Uber Eats model because, we don't necessarily make the money from this end. I think we make money from the pizza, but we don't understand how they're making money." That was a few years ago.
they're not making money.
Yeah, right. But I think Domino's is smart to at least say, "Hey, what's going on over here?"
So
sense.
it does go further to say that the Russell Weiner, this is Domino's CEO. It does say that he this deal is being made based on the research and the results that they learned from 13 other countries. So I guarantee you they're looking at putting this.
Eventually,
They're not just taking $1 for getting the order through. For the
I think they're
pain
testing
that'll be.
I think they're testing the waters. Like
Yeah, no,
we were so against any of these third-party apps. Let's test the water and throw it out there that we have a small partnership. We'll see how that goes. If it's not horrible bad press, yeah, we'll roll it out.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is they're like, you guys. Let me ask you guys: do you ever order Domino's pizza? Do you?
Oh, I do. My daughter
I do.
loves it.
If my son and I do, we pick
for,
it up though.
Yeah, but I don't get it delivered. I pick it up.
don't
No,
get
I
it
pick it up.
Interesting. I may have to try Domino's pizza again because maybe it's just the people I hang around don't usually get Domino's. So I was thinking that.
Are you calling us like trash? What are you saying?
I'll eat any pizza. I don't care.
Because
Yeah.
if you think about it, the reason I probably don't eat Domino's because I order pizza through these delivery apps is because they're not in the app.
Yeah, Domino's has really good deals if you go pick it up. If you go pick it up, they love you.
Yeah, I actually do Domino's because it's smaller slices for my daughter. And when she was like learning to eat people food, like it was like the one thing she could actually eat and feel good about. And she's ever since then, she just loves Domino's. So
Yeah.
I do love Domino's cheesy bread. I'm not gonna lie. And call it a lie.
Derek, we're not saying that. I'm not saying Domino's is my favorite pizza.
No,
We have
I
a
still have
Detroit
my own
place here in
local
town.
pizzeria.
I don't know if you
Yeah.
guys know about John or Derek. You might know about it. Tony might know about it, but there's Detroit pizza. There's lots of pizza places I love, but I'm just saying if I'm gonna get a quick pizza with Max or something on the
And
floor.
The carry out deals are so cheap. Like
They're so
just-
cheap.
So
You
guys
get a
are
large
making me
pizza for
wanna order
$10.
Domino's tonight for dinner now. I'm like,
Do it. But yeah, it's so
there's
cheap.
one literally out the corner. Like they built it like a year ago. I haven't been there, but I know it's less than a mile away. I could probably walk.
That's the thing. Uber Eats think that they're missing people like you, like that order pizza.
I think they are.
Yeah.
I think it's a good. I think it's going to expand their customer base. I do think that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it does seem, as I keep going down this article, it does seem to be that this is really a global thing too. So I can tell they're just testing the waters of Uber Eats. I mean, or not even testing the waters. They're just getting ready to pull the trigger to tell them, "Hey, everybody, you're fired." Because
surprise,
we're going to save money and we're going to make that money. It's a recession.
Yeah. I mean, you guys can all be Uber Eats drivers now.
Hey, you guys can deliver even more stuff than Domino's Pizza.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, you have to pack a background check too.
Oh yeah, you're out.
I don't even know what else we could do here. And if you guys are hearing my voice, it's crazy. I did have some other articles. I'll put them in the show notes, you guys, because the NLRB article, if you guys want to know, is really important, or you should give it a read. And the Rhode Island horror bill, a test run for the Democratic-led state, that's in like every newspaper right now. That's my friend Mike Harubi. I've had him on the podcast many times with New Jobs America. He's tearing it up right now. He's kind of hitting the press scene. He's like everywhere right now. So it's been nice, like in all kinds of if I just Google independent contractor in news and filter like the last week, he's pretty much like 2/3 of it.
Good for him.
Yeah, it's been fun to see that. But yeah, there was a couple of violent things that we normally kind of don't cover, but one of them was weird. I'm just not. I don't think tonight's the night. I'm just not in the mode for that. I don't know. Maybe because Gary's not here.
We normally
I don't feel violent.
I'll say either way around.
So you see Garyans go violent?
I go red.
Whoa, what does that mean?
I don't know, Gary.
No, Gary's like the most peaceful guy in the world. But he would be sticking us about something right now. Because, you know, when you said, I'm going to play devil's advocate, we all know Gary doesn't give us that warning, but he always does it.
Well, he needles you because you respond to it. So
I think he does. He plays it with all of us some. I think sometimes he doesn't even believe in what he's saying. He's like, I'm just gonna like, no, like, explain why. Like, so Gary, you're missed.
Hope that moving's going well. Like moving's an excuse not to be here.
But I guess before we go, I mean, we should take a second, absolutely, probably to talk about GigCon, right? I mean, we should give it a plug here. We're coming up. I mean, hell, we're 3 weeks out tonight.
Time is flying by for
that's
August
no
4th
joke.
and 5th.
That's 3 weeks.
Yeah,
right
it's
now.
oh shit, I gotta get my my room together.
So
But yeah,
on the 4th, Town Hall on the 5th. I mean, we got both.
There's been
both seem to be growing.
Steve, I mean, you probably agree with me. There's been a lot of really great news been coming about. Certain, giveaways that's coming together, and different, content creators jumping in. Sarah Elizabeth, I'm sure you guys know her. She's jumping in. She's going to be flying from Florida to Denver. It's going to be a really amazing experience hanging out with awesome people. And the giveaways and the free crap is going to be all over the place. I mean, I'm yelling at both Steve and Pedro. Like, we need more giveaways.
He actually did do that.
I literally did. Yeah.
He made an advocacy point to say, "Hey,
come out your pockets." I mean, I have it. Actually, I'm gonna get a nice $100 Amazon gift card, and I'll be throwing that out there to give away during the festivities. So, I'm sure there'll be links all over the place. But yeah,
I'm gonna give away that I'll drive to Utah and make Blake Moore give the money that he owes to everything he owes.
That's funny.
Live stream for Blake.
Sorry, Blake. I don't even know you, bro, but literally, like, I don't usually determine without talking to somebody, but it seems like even you've admitted to it. I'm just gonna say, whatever, for whatever it's worth.
Donate to a good cause today.
So, cheers to Blake for being a good contestant. Hopefully, it won't come down to us meeting. So,
yeah, I doubt that.
But it is going to be fun, both days, and then just kind of the scene, I think, around the weekend. And on Saturday, we got the town hall's growing too. Cannibals talking about the Friday growing, but the town hall's growing too, and in ways we didn't expect. Like, we're getting other politicians and other things, and there's going to be food and drinks, and Curry's going to be there. So, wink, wink, guys. If you're going to be in Denver and curry something, I can introduce you to Alice and the other people. And I don't know. I would get over there if you have questions about the app, or if you're on the waiting list.
Are you still on the way? If you're still on the waiting list, the trip may be worth it.
But see, okay, you know what? Actually, I do need to. This is quick, but I do need to mention this. Tony, the Driven Dad, is like Chris from RiDESHARE guy was. He's been on the waiting list for over a year. Derek, who's from Denver as well, his buddy got a person on that went on the waiting list under 2 months ago. And I got an email because I questioned somebody's comment. and I kept commenting with them because they said I'm in Denver too, and I was doing a delivery, and it was to a mechanic, and I said it's weird. This is my mechanic, and the person said that's my mechanic too. So we kind of live very close. And he's like, I just got on Curry today, and I was thinking, I'd never seen the account. I was like, is this real? And then he emailed me because I said email me, and he did, and he said, yeah, I live in, and like everything he said made sense. He knew Denver, he knew this area. And he's like, yeah, I got my Mazda hatchback on the waiting list 5 weeks ago. I just got pulled off. Well, why are people getting overlooked that have been on so long? So
I've been on there for a while.
I'm gonna be taking that because I actually just got all that stuff today. Free Tony, see Mr. Diason, and he was the one that told me about one of the people. We had free flights. Now we got free Tony.
Yeah,
like free Curry to Tony. But I will be asking. If not, at least Tony's going to meet Alice, so we'll get it all corrected. But I guess what I'm saying is it makes me wonder about some of these people who have been a year plus. Are they now getting and I'm not saying Curry's just doing it maliciously, but everybody can have a fault here or there. Like maybe somehow the list doesn't go back farther than a certain amount because they never expected it to be quite so big or something. I don't know.
So that mean I have to reapply?
Well, that means I want to ask though, because what if they're taking people in front of you now because maybe it doesn't go past 90 days back? So if you've been sitting on it for a year,
you definitely want to reach out and ask
out of the last 90.
We chop liver.
I'm just wondering because I've now heard it from two people in Denver. I put a post in the Curry Facebook group, and usually that'll get some replies, and I should see replies if other people are seeing that or thinking that. Because I don't know. I don't think it's just because I questioned both of them. Like, really? And they're like, yeah. So I mean, and these are people we know. So this is or Derek is anyway. Like Derek wouldn't lie to us, so or else. Just kidding. Yeah. Okay. Well, Tony says that he was still on and he's still waitlisted, that he got in touch with. Okay. Well, we'll talk to Alice next week. I'm going to tell her about this anyway before then. But yeah. And Shane, you're in Colorado Springs, right? Yeah, I think you are. So yeah, Shane, be here. Be at the events. I mean, it's not what the event is about, but you can, after the town hall, it goes from 12 to 2. Alice will be sticking around for a while. You can meet her and go up and talk to her wherever you can and see what's going on. And I'll help facilitate all that to you guys, just so you know. I won't go, you're on your own. I'll be like, Alice, these are the people that have been on for a year. I don't know why they're getting skipped. Please take care of them.
Maybe they're not even in New Jersey. I don't even know.
They are.
Oh, okay. I was trying to give them the benefit. See, I'm always trying to be positive.
Yeah. Well,
no,
I mean, that is positive. So, I mean, they're in your market, so let's get it fixed.
Yeah.
Because honestly, the Curry team wants to know this too. They would want to know, wait a minute, what do you mean they're getting skipped? That's how I feel like they'd act. And surprisingly enough, guys, it's not Uber or something. Their team it's big, but it's not thousands of people by any means. So anyway, guys, that's a wrap. I'm losing my voice. I think it's been a lot of things this week. So it's kind of good that it's near the end of the week. Thank you to everybody on the panel. Thank you for joining us tonight, watching on replay. And until next week, be safe, earn smart, and we're out of here, you guys. Have a good night and peace.